that's as local news gets. News 12, Long Island.
By putting us in the flood zone, they have also devalued our homes.
Homeowners across the island are blaming Uncle Sam for the sinking property values. Welcome back to News 12 Long Island. I'm Ron Corning.
And I'm Jody Applegate. Long Islanders say the feds should go back to the drawing board when it comes to determining who has to buy flood insurance.
News 12 Long Island's Jill Conway visited the so-called flood zone where residents say the government has hung them out to dry.
How long have you been here?
Since 1960.
So in 1960, you've never flooded once, right?
No, absolutely. I can assure you.
So you can understand why Robert Rendell was so confused and upset when FEMA placed his Valley Stream home in the flood zone last year, forcing him and other residents like Carol Krupe
My house never floods.
to worry about their home losing value and to pay for skyrocketing flood insurance they feel they don't need.
My premium went from $388 to over $1,900.
Money she says she can't afford. The problem started last year when FEMA reworked their flood zone maps and raised the base flood elevation from 7 feet to 11 feet. Thousands of residents across Long Island were suddenly told they were at risk of flooding and must buy insurance.
Makes no sense at all.
Senator Charles Schumer at the Village Hall in Valley Stream today, demanding that FEMA go back to the drawing board. He's calling for a moratorium to stop the implementation of the new flood maps on Long Island and suspend the mandatory insurance.
Common sense should tell you if a community doesn't have a history of flooding and the historical record shows no flooding at the levels FEMA's claiming during past storms, then it doesn't make sense to throw them into a flood map.
Schumer now wants FEMA to start over and consider the flooding history of the street and conduct surveys on a house-by-house basis. In Valley Stream, I'm Jill Conway, News 12, Long Island.
FEMA says flood hazards are constantly changing, so some homes previously thought to be safe are now considered to be at risk of flooding. And officials say they will have workers do ground checks to see if communities are truly at risk.